Oh, hello. Hello out there, wherever you are. As for me, well, I'm at the final stop of the 2022 Halloween haunt season, and actually the first stop of the 2022 Halloween haunt season. I know this timeline is more convoluted than the Halloween movie franchise. This is Demonhouse, and Demonhouse was actually the first stop that we went to on the 2022 Halloween haunt season. They were the one open the earliest. We actually went September 9th. This is currently Black Friday. But the reason why you haven't seen Demonhouse video until right now is because they're allowing me to do this. Film my review and discussion from Demonhouse inside Demonhouse. This is a first for the channel. So we are going to get into my discussion, my thoughts on Demonhouse, but also there's a very special announcement that if you are a fan of haunted houses in my channel, make sure to stay tuned for that. But let's get into my thoughts on Demonhouse from inside Demonhouse. 2022 Halloween haunt stop number 1, unofficially, and number 18, the final stop officially, and Tom was here.
Hey, how do you like this? I'm Dan Israel, and you're watching Tom Was Here.
Something extra creepy about being in a haunted house all alone. Okay, let's talk Demonhouse. Credited as stop 18, the final stop of the 2022 Halloween haunt season, even though it was the first. I mentioned in the intro that this was the first stop we made. If you watched my Fright Farm video, and if you're a regular watcher of the Tom Was Here channel, well, as mentioned in the intro, this was our first stop of the 2022 Halloween haunt season. The reason being is because Demonhouse opens earlier than everywhere else. Okay, let's talk about Demonhouse. So Demonhouse actually opened Labor Day weekend. We did not go that early, but we went the next weekend, which was September 9th. And as mentioned, the reason why we didn't film a review then is because they had granted us this experience, just it took until Black Friday, which it is currently, to actually get this done. But Demonhouse was an awesome start to the 2022 haunt season, because when you go to haunts off season, you know, it's hard to say like whether they won't have the same proper staff, or if it'll be something where you know, maybe they're not ready to get into the swing of things for the haunt season. But going on the second weekend, we found a very spirited group of actors that were, I mean, they were bouncing off the walls. A few of them were, at least. Like I said, they were energetic, spirited. They were, they were in their Halloween best. So that was awesome just from the jump. We had never been to Demonhouse before. I certainly haven't been. And the one thing I can say about Demonhouse is that other haunts in the area recommended Demonhouse. They were the ones that were saying, you know, because I talked to a lot of haunt runners, people that make these haunts, that work on these haunts, and usually one of the first questions they bring up is, what haunts have you been to? And I usually tell them haunts that I've been to, you know, over the season. You know, maybe not all of them, but a vast majority of the haunts I've been to during the season. And I go, were there any you recommend? I know it's hard to say because a lot of people that do haunts are very partial to their own haunt, and that's certainly understandable. But the one name that I kept getting to go check out was Demonhouse. So Demonhouse is actually built on the footprint of a 200-year-old mansion. I believe the mansion was torn down, and this is the new house that was built over it. And it's, because it's something that's been there that long, and even interestingly enough, if you've been to Demonhouse before, you may not have noticed that where the fountain is, that there's actually the grave sites of the family that lived here. So it's something that has been around for a long, long time. At least the land for sure is. And when it's a situation like that, there's an intensity to that. There's a level of energy to that. And regardless of whether you believe in the paranormal or not, or feel that something's haunted, there's an added authenticity to that. My concern was when I was walking in here, or at least hearing things about it, is I was like, well, wait a minute. If it's just a house, like how lengthy could that possibly be? I thought, maybe if you go in the house, maybe if they use the basement, maybe if they use the attic. I really didn't know what to expect. But what I found was they actually use the grounds as well. So when you walk into Demonhouse, there's a ticket booth. Tickets are $20, but they do have Groupon specials. So be on the lookout for that on Groupon. But then you go through the turnstile, and they have a nice little complex. The yard has been kind of set up with food trailers, with some merch trailers, with some, there's a shop that has, I believe, like handmade different gifts. They have a screen set up and show movies, and there's some seating area. So it's a nice little, experience. You can grab some food, you can watch a movie, wait for your turn, because they do it by number. So like they'll call your group, they'll tell you what group number you are, and then they'll call your group together to go in. But yeah, what I didn't expect was that not only are you weaving through the house, but they also have a connected series of almost like a maze type thing outside of the house, which was pretty cool. Like I said, I didn't expect to go around the grounds as well. I just thought you were in the house, you're out of the house. It's Demonhouse, as for example. But no, it actually is about a 20+ minute experience, which is, to be most of the time, the standard going rate for haunted houses. For the value of $20 a ticket, and even less with Groupon, that's actually a really good deal. So when we went through the Demonhouse experience, look at that. Is he looking at me? You're not looking at me, is he? He's looking at something else. Okay. So yeah, going through the Demonhouse experience, I really wasn't, when they called us from the jump, you go through quite a few things before you actually go into the house. And when I found out after the fact, actually made me appreciate it more. Just about everything in this house, including the stairs, the wall, is DIY, old school, handmade stuff. It's not something they're buying. So it has that old school feel in that sense. And the owner actually went through I believe he went through the Savini school. So a lot of these things that you see, and some of them are highly detailed. It's not something where it's just like, oh, they kind of threw it together. No, I mean, time and effort was put in to make this look good. And they're coming through and, impressive. There's a thing in the kitchen, because you go through a different kitchen area, where a scare actor jumps out of, and I don't want to kind of spoil it because, people, I assume it's something they're still going to use, but they jump out of something unexpected. It's larger than what it is in real life. Let's put it that way. But the detail of it is very impressive. And the fact that when we came out, I'm like, where did you, because that scare actor's performance was really good as well. But like when we came out of it, it was like, where did you get that thing? It's like, oh, we made that. We made just about everything in the house. And it's like, wow, that's saying something. So you made all of this? Like you made this staircase? You made all of this? This was just an empty house when you walked into it and you built it into this? That's impressive to me. If you're going through, you may not know that backstory, but I'm just telling you in the added levels of that the backstory adds to the effect for me. So the scare actor that was in the kitchen that came out of the thing that was unexpected is the best way I can put it. But there was a point where there was a group in front of us that were moving slow, and so we were stopped there. And so we were left in the kitchen with the scare actor who just stared at us menacingly for a considerable period of time. I mean, she did not break character once. I've been through now haunted houses where I've seen people break character. In some cases, maybe I'll make a comment that has caused that, or someone just will, fall into something or just unexpected. But I can say in Demonhouse that no one broke any character. And as you're going through the house, there's a point where you walk into this section right here. And the scare actor that was up on the second floor insisted that we use the railing. Now, I don't know if that's an additional safety factor that they add into their haunt. She did it in a very angry way, that we had to use the banister, of which I had no problem with that. But my friend Todd did not use the banister, and she was particularly hard on him for not using it. But no, going through, you weave through here, and I believe you weave through each section of the house. You go down back steps. Then there is there's a few extra sections that are in the other side of the house. You go out through there, there's like a maze portion on the outside. That's before that's on the second part. There's like two separate section kind of walk through areas. And then you go back through and then back in the house to close it out. So there's quite a bit involved in what is going on at Demonhouse. So they're going through, like I said, it's not just you're walking through a haunted house. You're walking through a kind of labyrinth of what feels like a tunnel and maze and everything before you even get in the house, and then back out the other way after you leave the house. So it's not just like, oh, you're in the house, oh, you're out of the house, and that's it. So like I said, it ends up being like 20 to 25 minute walkthrough that culminates in like an end show, I guess you could say, with the scare actor that was really great in their own right. In fact, all of the scare actors really gave it their all. Like I said, that's not something you expect from early on in haunt season. Usually when you're at post-Halloween or way pre-Halloween, you're not getting the full experience, at least in my circumstance. But here, I felt like we got the same experience that we would if it was October. So I thought it was pretty good. I can see why people recommend it, because haunt runners, people that run haunts, that know the ins and the outs of haunts and everything, I can see why they speak so highly of it. They speak so highly of it because maybe they're looking a little bit past the haunt and they're looking at the detail that is put into this and realizing that it's handmade, which is no easy feat. But just as someone who's somewhat of a novice in that sense, where now at this point, I've been to so many haunted houses that there's things I've seen, there's things I'm familiar with at this point. But I felt the ambiance, that's what I look for. I mention this in every video. I'm sure you hate it by now if y'all watch it. But the immersion factor of like being in this situation, if it just snaps you into a situation that you were just unfamiliar with, like you're at a haunted house. You paid an admission. But when you walk into like this section here, this foyer of Demonhouse, you're in a creepy haunted house. If it brings you there, I can't ask for much more than that. And it brought me there. It brought me into this experience. When you do that thing and you have it and you make it feel creepy, then you've done your job. There's nothing more I can ask of you than you taking me into a world that I'm unfamiliar with. And it's awesome. So after we went through Demonhouse, like I said, we spoke with the owners. Now, I had tried to come here in years past. I had reached out to them and never was able to get a hold of anyone, at least I think maybe there's a certain hesitation I found with haunts where they're like, what are you angling for here? And all I'm angling for is content. So if I'm able to get a video done, then I'm a happy camper. But I understand that not every haunt is okay with that. In this case, Demonhouse is not necessarily okay with that in the sense that they don't want me showing the whole show. And I understand that. So we spoke with the owners of Demonhouse, and we talked with them for a very long time. We were, like I said, I wasn't sure if I was able to get a hold of anyone and film anything, and they weren't really partial to me filming stuff. But they were kind enough to talk with us for a while about kind of the history, how they've been doing stuff, kind of their backstory, and how they got all this to come together. And it really is fascinating. It's interesting how they were able to, how they actually acquired the house, how they built it out of just basically like a shell of a house and what it was, the history of everything. And so we really liked the owners. We had a blast talking with them. They were awesome. Being able to walk into Demonhouse, no one's here except for the owner. The owner's here. He's working on a mold right now. Like I said, they do all their custom molds, and it was cool to step into the workshop for a minute and see that. But that's all I ask for. I'm not asking for anything special. Well, I guess I am asking for something special if you're allowing me to film in here when it's closed. And that ties in with the announcement that I mentioned in the intro. If you're a fan of the Halloween Haunts section of the channel, and I hope that you are if you're watching this. If you're not, I have done this for about 3 years now. For 3 years, starting in 2020, the pandemic, I have went to haunted houses. I was allowed to film certain things, and that has expanded every year since, and really expanded this year. So I've noticed because of an uptick in subscribers, people are watching the content. They seem to be liking the content. So what I'm going to do, the announcement I'm making today, is there will be a TomWasHere Halloween Haunts YouTube channel. Because the haunt community and fans of haunts and the haunt community have really embraced the little channel of mine. And I wanted to add to that. Now, what would consist of the TomWasHere Halloween Haunts channel? Does that mean no more haunt walkthroughs on the TomWasHere channel? Absolutely not. In fact, I don't have enough subscribers yet to just officially offshoot that. So here's how we're going to work it. The one thing about my TomWasHere Halloween Haunts videos, and a lot of people have given me some grief for this, is that they are really long, especially when I'm doing a full walkthrough, because I will do the whole walkthrough, then I'll sit in my basement or in the car or whatever, and then I'll do a whole review, at least discussion, as well as I do reviews. Trust me, other people, other channels do reviews way better than I do. So let me clarify that. It's more a discussion and just things off the top of my head. But with the TomWasHere Halloween Haunts channel, for future reviews, they will go there. The walkthrough will still be on the TomWasHere channel. And if you want additional details, like if I say, we walk through, say, Demonhouse, and I've walked through Demonhouse and I've covered it, and then I go, okay, that'll wrap it up for Demonhouse. For a full review and discussion, visit the TomWasHere Halloween Haunts channel. So that's how that'll work. Plus, we also can, right now, at least starting out, because you may wonder, this is the stupidest time to ever start a Halloween Haunted House YouTube channel, because it's not Halloween anymore. And you're absolutely right. But the way I figure it is this. I have 3 years of back catalog videos. Now, those videos have already been on the TomWasHere channel, but those videos are bogged down by my long-winded intros, as you well know, my long-winded outros, as you well know, and me doing a review of the haunted house. But what if the Tom Was Here Halloween Haunts channel just had the walkthroughs of the haunted house, just had short videos that were from the haunted houses or scare zones or things like that, that were just haunted house content from just the back catalog, at least starting out of the gate. Now, eventually, I want that to blossom into situations like this. Situations exactly like this, where I'm able to walk through a haunted house during the day, speak with people that work as haunt runners, as haunt actors, as people in the haunt community. Like I said, do a scare actor thing where I'm dressed as a scare actor for a night at a haunted house. All that stuff may not necessarily fit even my variety channel that I have on Tom Was Here, but would fit on the Tom Was Here Halloween Haunts channel. So, the Tom Was Here Halloween Haunts channel, at least initially, will be a complement to the Tom Was Here channel. The Tom Was Here channel will not be going away. It will be doing the same variety that it's been doing over the past few years. And to be honest, I generally like to make it more variety than not. I don't like to do the same content over and over. But haunt season was so massive this year, such a jump this year, that it took up almost all of my time. So there were so many haunt videos in a row where I used to like to throw in an unboxing, or, if I go to a sports game or if I go somewhere else, like kind of sprinkled in the middle. And I did that a little bit, but I didn't do it enough to where it became bogged down by just the Halloween content. Which, don't get me wrong, gained me a lot of views, a lot of subscribers, did very well. But the Tom Was Here channel is always going to be a variety channel. Tom Was Here Halloween Haunts will be exactly what YouTube craves. A niche. The niche of haunted houses. And like I said, there's several videos that I've done so many of now that I could arguably throw into another channel. But Halloween Haunts is the first one where I felt people embraced every video I put out. So, in the description below, there is a link to the Tom Was Here Halloween Haunts channel. YouTube is using Twitter handles now, so if you type in @Halloween Haunts, it should pop up there as well. But please subscribe to the Tom Was Here Halloween Haunts channel if you like Halloween and haunted house content, because that is what it's going to be chock full of. Now, I know for sure that not everybody has watched every second of every video I put out, because how can you stand? I've watched all my stuff, because like Quentin Tarantino said on the Howard Stern show, I make this for me. You're all invited. I make content for me. I like watching it. I like doing it. If you happen to like what I'm doing, that's a byproduct, and I appreciate you. But I don't do it for you as much as I do it for me. So, I acknowledge that the Halloween Haunts channel will be a slow burn from the jump, because it's just going to be me rehashing kind of older content and referencing, like different haunted houses may have or if I went to a theme park and it just has a scare zone, I might do a video of just that scare zone, and then that'll be a video. Or I'll do the full walkthrough of one of my haunts in years past, but without my long review, my long-winded intro, my long-winded outro. It'll just be the walkthrough. So I do know that there's a large contingent of people that don't necessarily need my long-winded intro, outro, review, any of those details. They just want to realize what they're going to get into this weekend, next weekend, whatever haunt weekend they go. So that is part of the reason why I'm doing this. And if it grows, as I hopefully expect it to, I'll do more with it. Like I said, I will reach out to haunt runners, sit down for an interview with them, see how they make molds, see how they design for a season like Christmas or Halloween, go behind the scenes, dress up as a scare actor. There's a lot of opportunities for growth on this channel, But obviously, as much as I stated I make content for me, if you like it, if you watch, if you subscribe, it will only add to my fuel to get this off the ground and make this work. So, if you like Halloween haunts, you like this section of the TomWasHere channel, you will have a home at TomWasHere Halloween Haunts. But I would not unsubscribe to my channel because all of the haunt walkthroughs, especially for next year, will still be there. They're going to be on that TomWasHere channel. And the TomWasHere Halloween Haunts channel will be for just the walkthroughs, just the reviews, and a lot more if it grows. So, I'll be doing an intro video there shortly. Like I said, I want to see this grow. Yeah, I realize it might be slower out of the gate, but this is an experiment. As many other things on my channel were experiments, so too is this. So, check out the TomWasHere Halloween Haunts channel, and let me know your thoughts actually on Demonhouse. Did you come out here this season? Were you planning on coming out here again? Now, they do have the Christmas event, of which they are decorated here for. Very, very decorated. Everybody's real festive. Even the mummies here are festive. He got a Santa hat on. He's got an elf hat on. No, they are having this December 2nd and 3rd, if I remember correctly. And I believe if you bring a toy, an unopened toy, you get 50% off your discount because they donate to a toy charity. I don't know which one it is offhand, but I believe they do. So, that is it. 18 stops on the 2022 TomWasHere Halloween Haunts tour. And it's been a labor of love. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed bringing content to you, maybe highlighting somewhere you've never been before. Here's a question, if you're still watching. Have you ever gone to a haunted house that you've never been to solely based on my recommendation? Let me know in the comments down below. But guys, thanks so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, you could do so. Link is in the description below. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt, a TomWasHere t-shirt, you can do so at Spreadshirt, as well as links to my eBay store, Facebook page, Instagram, Clubhouse, and the Pennsylvania Autograph Collectors Association. Links are in the description below. But when it comes to Demonhouse, the final stop of the 2022 Halloween haunt season, I can officially say that my name is Tom and I was here. Thanks for watching, like, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.